This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Welcome, listeners. I'm your host, Dani, and I'm the first-time reader going through this series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we're covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host, Brett, who's a longtime fan, and he's acting as my tour guide on this journey. We'd like to acknowledge and thank our executive producers, Brandy and Aaron Kirkwood, Andre the Man in White, and Chad Welsh. And before we get into things today, we have a few people to welcome to the Wheel Weaves Patreon team. So thank you so much and welcome to Elina, Fishel, and Delusions of Graendal. Thank you so much for your support and your generosity. We really appreciate it. In this episode, we're talking about chapters 47 and 48 of The Shadow Rising.
Yeah, so chapter 47, we have The Truth of a Viewing, and chapter 48, An Offer Refused. And I'll tell you, one of these chapters is a lot more exciting than the other.
Yep, I get it.
It's the first one.
It's the first
one's
one.
More exciting.
Oh man, shit goes down.
Yeah, we get like events transpiring.
Oh my god, like serious ones. This
Yes.
is the official ramp up to the end of the book.
Okay.
In my opinion.
That would make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Because shit went down,
Shit went
things
down,
happened.
Things are happening.
Okay, and before we actually get into this, I have a retraction to make because I was totally wrong
You really...
last chapter.
Yeah, people called you out.
Yeah, they were actually really nice though, and I do appreciate when people tell me when I'm wrong because I got to learn a new word, which is also pretty cool.
Okay.
So just to clarify for anyone listening and isn't sure and up to speed yet, so at the end of the last chapter, we got that weird little bit with the Shanshan guy who like broke the arm of the other guy.
Yeah.
Now, when I've always read it, I read it as that guy who got his arm broke was a Shanshan blood who had like stooped to begging. So he was like one of the people left behind. So I always thought it was just a Shanshan noble who was like stooped to that level. And that's why the Shanshan guy broke his arm.
Okay.
Now, that's wrong. So not. It's just a noble from this land who was stooped to begging. And since the Shanshan are just generally, jerks to everyone. Yeah.
And that's the only word that guy who's clearly Shanshan has for the nobles.
Yeah, exactly. So, and that was the word I learned was reckoned because I didn't know what that meant. But apparently it's just like a comparison. Like it means to be considered or regarded in a specific way. So it's just like how he regarded this guy as one of the blood.
Gotcha.
So just for a word example and the way that I have to make amends so we can thank
a bunch of people on Discord?
Yes, but also specifically Night Runner for the ways I'm going to make amends is I'm going to use the word in an example. And that example is as in the Lord of the Rings trilogy was reckoned a massive success and the best trilogy ever based on the number of Oscars it won.
And that means we have to take a shot.
Exactly.
I see what you did. I see what you did there.
You'll notice I had the bottle lined up. It was for that.
It's ready to go.
Yeah, so reckoned. Hey.
There you go. Okay, well, cheers for that.
Yeah, and we have like 8 more books or something, so I'll probably make another mistake, I assume, at some point.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Me too.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that didn't feel good.
It's buble gum.
Buble gum. Okay.
Okay, so now I want to jump into my fun fact before we actually start.
There we go.
So one more
there
thing.
It is.
One more thing. So we get a fun little story in the second chapter with the Rand Avienda thing about the Gara, which is a 2-foot-long yellow striped poisonous lizard thing.
Yes. Don't step on it.
Yeah, and it's not dangerous unless you're stupid enough to step on it. But, so I had to do a ton of digging and a ton of research, and I came up with barely anything. So I've compiled...
Like, poisonous lizards don't really exist, do they?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Oh.
Okay, so...
I'm thinking of like little pet iguanas.
That, like those ones aren't poisonous. But anyways, that's not the point. So I couldn't find like a 1-to-1 comparison. So I have a theory of what the Gara might be, but definitely probably is not.
Just for fun speculation?
Just for fun, because I didn't do all this research for nothing.
Okay,
so
all right, go ahead.
It's probably based on 3 things. 1, the Gila monster, which is a real lizard, and it's around southwestern US-ish, and it grows about 2 feet long, and it's the biggest in the US. And they have a very strong bite, and are venomous, and the bites to humans can be deadly.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah, so like the Gila monster, that's the first little connecting dot. The second one is, and get this for a name, the southeastern 5-lined skink, also called the blue-tailed lizard. It has yellow stripes. and is commonly found in southeastern U.S., including South Carolina,
Okay.
where RJ was from.
Okay.
Okay, but it's not poisonous.
Not poisonous.
So we got the size from the first one, the colors from the second one, and then the name Gara is the Bengali name for the Nyan, which is a monstrous serpentine creature from Burmese and Indian legends.
All right.
So there we go.
Sure, maybe.
It's probably, but definitely probably is not. Combination of those three things.
All right. Okay.
So you learned some stuff.
I
Good.
certainly
Also,
did. And I won't forget this one.
most importantly, that there are poisonous lizards.
Yeah.
That's like a thing.
Yeah. I believe you.
Thank you. Yeah, I hope so. I'm not lying about that part.
I just can't picture it. I don't know. Okay.
All right.
Okay. So getting into these chapters, we have events transpiring last time.
Yes, which is really important.
So we had Perrin, who invited everyone and their aunt's dog into the Two Rivers.
Yeah.
Or into Emmons Field, specifically. Literally nothing good can come from that. Elaine and Nynaeve wandered around Tanchico, being their incompetent selves.
Yeah.
Almost got themselves kidnapped, were saved by a Shanchen, and immediately revealed to her that they're Aes Sedai.
Yes.
And then got themselves compelled?
Compelled.
Compelled?
Would be that would be the...
Compelled by...
Compelled by compulsion.
Yes. Okay. Compelled by a probably definitely Forsaken, new Forsaken.
New Forsaken. Not just like Lanfear in a black dress.
You know, you never know with that one.
Yeah.
Okay, except definitely not.
Definitely not, but...
Okay, so that's where we left off.
Okay.
We're going to start chapter 47, The Truth of a Viewing, and we start in Swan's perspective, and right away I'm on high alert.
Right. The last time we saw her, it was a long time ago.
Yep, it was. She had got...
She received
did some stuff? No, she just got the letters from Maureen.
She got the letter, and she was calling the meeting, which we hear about the results of in this chapter.
Right, okay.
Because she was like, Liana, we got to call this meeting like Crime Man Squad FNC, double time.
Right, and the title of this is immediately going to make me think about Min and her viewings in the White Tower.
Yes.
That's like immediately where I went to. And I have to tell you, when I read the events, I was not all surprised.
Okay.
It wasn't shocking. Oh my God.
Do you remember the viewings of Min?
Yeah.
Okay. Are we going to talk about them specifically?
Well, like the ones where everyone's dead.
Well, that
basically.
Too. But also the last time that Min saw Swan that we've seen, we
naked.
also... The whole like naked screaming or something on the floor and your face is just like horrified and is terrible.
Yeah.
And then Swan's like, I might take a lover or something.
Definitely not that.
No time for that now.
Yeah.
So, all comes full circle.
Right. Chapter symbol, Flame of Tarvalin.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So, we enter in Swan's perspective. We're in the White Tower. She's going through some super mundane tasks, trying not to worry and convincing herself that everything is fine.
Yes.
And then we get the narrator voiceover. Everything was not fine.
Yeah. Shoot. Okay.
So, we get also an interesting tidbit that I didn't know. Maybe everyone else knew it.
Okay.
I didn't know that Laris wasn't an Aes Sedai.
Oh, yeah. No, she's the mistress of the kitchens now.
Of this. Yeah, she's mistress of the kitchens, but Sheriam, who's mistress of the novices, is an Aes Sedai.
Okay, sure.
It didn't occur to me that someone working in the tower wasn't an Aes Sedai.
Oh, okay. Lots of people in the tower aren't Aes Sedai.
Yeah, well, I know, like servants and stuff, but...
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was news.
Hey, that's important.
World building news.
And also, importantly, Laris got her new title.
She did.
Mistress of the Kitchens.
Which means that she's like, thinks she's above her station now.
Yes. Maybe it comes with a pay grade increase. Like, I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, but that means that she's like overlooking the kitchen orders.
Well, you know what?
Poorly. And...
It all helps, though.
Yeah.
For relationship building with Swan. You're going to tell me that Swan's relationship with Laris isn't influenced by her giving her that promotion? I'm just saying.
I don't think that Swan and Laris have a very good relationship.
Okay.
I think that Laris and Elmin Dreda have an excellent relationship. And that's the only reason. And we got to get it. We got lots to get into.
We got to get there. Oh, man.
This was just an interesting little tidbit.
Yes.
And now, okay.
Yeah.
So the reason for Swan being on edge here is because there's been no further news. We only got the one message from Moiraine that Rand held Calendar and nothing in the weeks since.
Yes, so a bit of a time frame here.
A little bit. I said timeline help ?
Yeah, weeks.
Weeks.
Also, Maureen's bad at communicating, but we knew that. That's not news.
That is not news.
Maureen
but
always
we also know that maybe some letters didn't get to Swan.
That too.
Right?
Okay.
So Swan goes through her...
Oh, hey.
What?
That would make sense if Moiraine was clear and concise about her sending letters about the Black Aja that they captured.
Mm-hmm.
And then Egwene said, or in that conversation, Moiraine was like, hey, I sent off information to the White Tower.
Yeah.
And from this perspective, it doesn't seem like Swan ever got those ones too.
Right.
So
unless Moiraine somehow lied.
Or like time frame didn't, like something's not going on correctly here, so.
Yeah, or somehow didn't, she just like Aes Sedai'd her words.
Yeah,
and she actually didn't send
right
information
Yeah.
about time.
Yeah.
Whatever his name is, right?
Taim.
In the audiobook, it's time today.
Today?
This chapter, it was time. I made a note of it. Anyway.
Okay.
So, Swan goes through her secret papers in her warded box.
Yeah.
Gives us a nice little update on events.
This is for us, I
Yeah,
think.
so first, Sarah is missing.
Shoot.
So is the woman who owned the farm.
Yeah.
Swan doesn't really think this is a big deal. She like literally thinks she ran away.
Yeah. And like the owner of the farm missing is also kind of weird, but...
She's like, whatever.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. They're dead, by the way.
Yeah. Massima, the prophet of the Lord of the Dragon, is doing a bunch of shit.
The prophet of the Lord Dragon.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
The prophet of the Lord Dragon.
Yeah.
And now I have an issue with this specifically.
Okay.
This episode is going to be 8 hours long because I pick out everything that's happening right now.
Okay, go.
But I think that Swan should be able to figure this one out because she seems really confused that this prophet of the Lord Dragon knows Rand by name, Rand al'Thor. She also thinks to herself, oh, Massima sounds Shinerian. How does he know anything? He's in Gildan. I don't understand what's going on.
Yeah.
So now, my point is, she was in Faldara. She knew the Shinerians went with Rand al'Thor and knew of him.
Yeah.
And then, now I want to know how much information did Varen and Moiraine relay to Swan about what happened in Falma when they recaptured the horn?
Yeah, probably none.
Really none, you think?
None to almost none.
Because Swan for sure knew the horn was coming from and was recovered from Falma.
Yeah.
Right? Like, there's no way she didn't know that because it took them like 6 months or something to get back to the tower.
Yeah, so like bare minimum, and then like...
And it's like, that's why Shinerians are sort of on the other side of the world right now.
Yeah. It's a weird circumstance.
It doesn't matter even at all.
No.
I just was annoyed that she's confused about this because this should make sense to her.
A little bit more than it does.
Yeah. Anyway, we also get that Taim is nowhere to be found.
Yeah, that's not good either.
No. The Arid Domin and Terabon situation is getting way worse.
Yeah, that's the civil unrest.
Yeah, and especially because there's at least 2 armies that claim to be like dragon-sworn, right?
Yeah, plus the White Cloaks are doing stuff there, so...
Yeah. So... we have ships vanishing along the Arth Ocean.
That's the Shanshan.
Definitely. And we have Terrans moving into Kyrian.
And that's actually a good thing.
Yeah, because that means that they listened to Rand.
Yeah, that was Rand's orders to help.
Yes.
Not to invade.
Well, we'll see what's actually going on there.
Well, that was Rand's orders. We'll see if they follow through. So.
Yeah. And then we also have 2 Aes Sedai sisters vanishing in Ilion and 1 in Caemlyn. And we probably definitely know that both of those cities have Forsaken in them.
And probably definitely running them.
Yeah, and so that's probably not great.
Probably not good. Yeah.
So we get a recap of what happened at that meeting that Swan called.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, so the Hall of the Tower voted as she expected. A man drawing Calendar means the Dragon Reborn and they must protect him.
Yeah, so that seems to have went well, and clearly not as well as she thinks that it did.
In her mind, it went well.
Yeah, I mean, the whole point was that different sisters from different Ajahs were actually like on the same side as her.
They're like,
so,
if a man holds Kalendor,
yeah,
then it's obvious.
he's the guy.
Yeah.
But the issue is that she also had to stop them from sending a delegation of Tyr to take Rand in hand, like whatever that means.
Right.
That's the whole like, let's make sure he's under our control.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But she stopped that.
Sort of. It doesn't sound like she stopped it.
Well, yeah.
At the time, they appeased her and said, yeah, sure. Yeah, we won't do that.
Not yet.
Yeah. So this is where shit happens because the door crashes open. More than a dozen women enter, all in their formal shawls, mostly from Red, some from other ones.
Yeah. We get the same, your name, which is exciting.
We get my personal fantasy name.
Yeah, Danelle.
Danelle. That's my name, Danielle.
Friggin' Danelle.
Without an I.
Yeah.
So,
that's exciting.
That's how we do fantasy names around here.
Yep.
We just, like, either include letters or just take them away from regular names. Now, there is a Shermian or something like that. Shamaran from Yellow, and I thought this was... Sheriam.
Not her.
And I was like, what the heck, Sheriam? What's going on
here?
What
are you doing here? Get out of here.
Yeah, but...
This is Shamaran.
Shamaran.
Come on. They're totally different names.
Yeah, so we have every Aja except for the blue.
Yes, which is very important.
Because the blue Aja would never support Elina in something like this.
Yeah, so like political maneuvering, blues wouldn't support the reds overthrowing a blue Amerlin. It doesn't.
Yeah,
doesn't
no
work,
way, no way. So Elina pulls the Amerlin stole from Swan's shoulders. In case you were even a little bit thinking that this wasn't going to happen.
Yeah,
or
it's
like,
happening.
What is Elina here confronting Swan for? It's to take her out of her seat.
Yeah. Do you remember the last time we saw Elida, what she was up to?
Yeah, talking with Alviarin about how she thinks that Rand might be able to channel.
And putting all the pieces together of everything.
Because she's the one who had the
foretelling
in Camelin.
Yes, exactly.
I sometimes forget that Elida was Morghase's advisor.
Yeah.
So
that was a big thing. And you remember why she was her advisor?
Because she has like devoted her life to protecting Andor.
Because
the royal line of Andor will be very important in the last battle.
Yes. And that includes who? Who is the royal line?
Elaine and Gawain.
And?
Morghase.
And?
Galad?
Okay. Well, he's part of the royal line.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
All of them. All the people.
Well, let's go through it. Who was queen before Morghase?
Tigraine.
Okay.
It's Rand. Rand is also part of the royal line of Andor, but she doesn't know that.
No, she doesn't. But Elida's foretelling was she has to stay close to the royal line.
Okay.
But she just assumes that the royal line is the family.
Oh, it's not.
Well, if you think about who's pivotal to the last battle and winning,
it's Rand.
Rand's part of the technical.
Dragon Reborn.
Like really not, but technically, you could interpret it as since he's Tigraine's son, he's part of the royal line. So.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
And that means that her foretelling was right, but she and her interpretation of it was very wrong.
Yeah, and she's upset because she thinks Rand is going to ruin everything, when really...
She needs to kill Rand so that he doesn't hurt the royal line of Andor, so that they can save the world.
Yeah, because he's going to cause chaos in the world or something like that.
Exactly.
That was her foretelling, but...
Shoot, you got to get those interpretations correct. Otherwise, bad stuff happens.
Yeah, okay. Very interesting. Okay. So, Elida goes, you won't need this any longer, taking the stole away from Swan. And
you were never fit for it.
You were never fit for it. Ugh. Swan is pissed off. It's super too late. She gets wound up in air.
I mean, this is pretty severe, too, because Swan goes, like, super rage mode. She internally hasn't even figured out what's going on.
Yeah.
It's just like a 1v1 situation in her mind, almost, forgetting there's more than a dozen women behind her.
Yeah.
Like, this is not just Elida coming and being a jerk to you in your study.
Yeah, no. Nope, it's not. Because then, when she's, like, bound up in air, Alviarin starts ruffling through her papers... And others start to search her office, and Alviarin opens the trapped, warded box.
Yeah.
And it blows up.
Boom.
She's like, I should have known.
Yeah, just a little poof, but
just a little
at least all the documents are gone.
Right. But then Elida tells Swan the hall convened an hour ago, enough sitters to meet the law, and Swan has been removed as Amerlin.
Yeah, so this is important.
Okay, I have a little asterisk here because I think that this moment is supposed to be quite shocking.
Yeah.
And I have to tell you, I was not surprised.
Okay, because of like a bunch of hints about things going poorly at the White Tower?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, like repeatedly.
I went, oh, this makes sense. Like that was kind of this entire chapter for me.
Yeah.
Everything I read went,
oh, shoot.
I went, yep, makes sense.
Yep.
Makes sense. It wasn't like, oh my God, I can't believe it. It was like, I totally believe this.
Yeah.
This is exactly what makes sense.
All that scheming of Elina that we saw in Alviarin and all that stuff, like it all kind of lines up.
It really does. Yeah.
Okay, but I do want to make a note about the whole enough sitters to meet the laws. So it's clear that in this, we can call it a coup because that's what it is, but Elina got just enough sitters to meet the laws, and clearly the full hall hasn't met. And that's Swan's point, is that when the full hall meets, you're not going to win this argument.
Yeah.
But it's already too late.
Way too late.
Yep.
Yeah. So at that point, when Swan tells Elina that, Elina full arm slaps Swan across the face. She will not allow Swan to destroy the tower, and then Swan gets let out.
Yeah. There's some like serious hatred here.
Yeah.
Like, we did see in Elina's viewpoint that she thought that
animosity.
Animosity, that's a good word for it.
It's probably less hatred and more just like,
yeah,
I can't stand you.
Well, and we also know that Elina believes that she belongs in the position of Amyrlin.
Yeah.
Because if she wasn't going to Andor to stick herself to the royal line, she could have been, in quotations, could have been Amyrlin.
In her mind. She
should have been instead. So
that's right.
Yeah.
And now, I have to tell you, I still don't hate Elina.
Okay.
Does it make me... we'll talk about it. Actually, I have a note at the end of this chapter.
Yeah.
That we can talk about.
Okay.
Like, I remembered to write it in because...
Good.
I wanted to talk about this controversial point.
Hot take.
It's a Watt take.
Ooh, nice. Yeah. Okay.
So, Swan gets let out, and she's hoping that they didn't have Lyanna as well.
Yeah, yeah.
And I went, oh, I forgot about her.
Yeah,
like, this part was a little shocking.
It is, and it's sad.
Because they do have Lyanna. Swan realizes that she did feel Lyanna being bound and didn't realize it because feeling women channel in the tower is just, like, always happening.
Yeah, like, you're gonna block it out. Like, obviously, you're not gonna be like, ooh, someone's channeling. You're in the White Tower full of women who are literally always channeling.
Right. And now this next point is a bit of a mystery to me.
For me, it's a timeline question, too. The Ulrich thing.
Yes.
Okay.
So, Ulrich is Swan's warder.
Yes.
And he is outside the hall, or outside her study.
Yes.
On the floor with a knife in his back, dead.
Yes.
And she is surprised about this.
Yes.
So, did he die after she was blocked and bound?
Okay, so that's the question of the timeline.
Because she should be able to feel everything we've ever heard from Moraine about, like, Lan being out and about
I'll
scouting,
know the moment
whatever.
you die.
I'll know it. I'll feel it.
So, okay, so let me try and put a few pieces together. So we don't know exactly how the warder bond works 100%. We just know what we've heard about you can feel the moment they die. We know it's got to do with the one power. And this is my point about the timeline of events. You've got a dozen women who can channel walking into the, let's say, the entrance part of the Amyrlin study.
Anteroom.
The anteroom. Yeah. Awesome. Where we've got Lyanna and we've got Ulrich. And why would anybody need to stab Ulrich when you're a woman who can channel? The weakest accepted could just tie Ulrich up in flows of air, and he couldn't do anything. We saw Lan get tossed around by people who can channel.
Yeah.
So they enter, they block and shield Lyanna. They probably wrap up Ulrich, and then they enter Swan's study. And then that's when they probably block her, because then that's when she reached out. And I would guess that they stabbed and killed Ulrich after they blocked her, so maybe that put a damper
on the bond.
A damper on the bond, and also in the shock of what was happening, maybe something didn't click and register with her. We don't know how severe Aes Sedai feel that.
Okay.
But that's the...
And then, then there's the other question is, why was he stabbed?
Well, this
Unless
doesn't seem...
it was, like, a servant running by who can't channel or something.
Why would a servant stab Ulrich the warder in the anteroom?
I don't know.
That doesn't make... I'm going to say no to that.
Okay, well, I thought maybe they were all in the room with Swan.
No, we know that there's at least a dozen, and
out.
there's some outside.
Okay.
So that means that Ulrich probably got stabbed after she got blocked, which means that they're doing some terrible, shady things. They killed Ulrich because they didn't want to deal with him.
Yeah. Well, and I guess they don't want to use... They can't use
the power as a weapon
to murder. Got it. Cool. Okay.
Because he's not a dark friend.
Yeah, disregard
they don't believe
the stupid thing I said.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. So that was 100% like an Aes Sedai stabbing him to kill him intentionally while he's wrapped up in air.
Yeah.
So super not cool stuff.
No.
Yeah. And the whole question is like, why didn't she feel it? Or what didn't register? We don't know enough now.
All right. I mean, it's all speculation, but
it's all bad.
Your points make sense.
And poor Ulrich.
Yes.
Yep.
Swan's warder for 20 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
So we get sort of more threats back and forth between Elida and Swan. And Elida means to know what information was in that box that exploded. And then she instructs the others to take Swan below.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we are going to get a perspective switch.
Yeah. Flip-flop.
We do flip-flop in this. And now we're flipping.
Yes.
To Min, who is headed through the north gate toward the tower around midday.
Yeah.
And then she realizes that there's no guards here, which is super weird because the gates are never unguarded.
That's impossible.
And she sees smoke in the tower and thinks like, oh, there's a fire. Maybe that's why the guards were pulled away.
Yeah.
But that doesn't really make sense because then she starts hearing the rattle of swords. And then she starts thinking about her current situation.
Yeah, like it hasn't really connected just yet. So
there's something going on here that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
And she's thinking about like Loris freaking loving her and Gawain making jokes and stuff. Plus Galad is like doing stuff and stuff.
Yeah, she's really just speculating on her current situation, and she hasn't 100% picked up on the weirdness of the situation.
Right, because she thinks about how maybe Rand will want to see her in a blue silk dress instead of her breeches.
But damn him for making me do that.
Yeah.
Which is like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he never said anything.
Yeah, and then the clash of swords comes again, and a horde of young men bust out of the trees, and Gawain is leading him.
Oh no.
Leading them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're all shouting, Gawain, the white boar, forward the younglings.
Yeah. So this is all bad again.
Yeah. And then Min calls to him and is like, what the fuck is happening? And Gawain's like, Min, get out of here immediately. The Amyrlin was deposed this morning. And then Gawain tells Min there's fighting everywhere. Hammer is trying to break Swan free, and I have to get to the tower now.
Yeah, so
and
this
then runs off.
This is a big point here.
That was a point I did not even a little bit pick up on until I did a reread.
Not even at all. So that's the whole callback that the whole which side is Gawain on.
Yeah.
So he's on...
Not Swan's side.
Not Swan's side. He's on Elida's side.
Yes.
And he's the one who prevented
it's like
Hammer.
Whatever was told to everybody, Gawain totally believes it.
Yes.
At no point is he like... He has no love for Swan. He knows she's got Elaine and Egwene somewhere and won't tell him where. Yeah. Like, it doesn't help that he already hates Swan.
Yes, and that's the issue. And we'll kind of get into the more stuff as we get a little further here about the Warders.
I do have a couple more points. But at this point, Min decides not to leave. She heads towards the tower and thinks Gawain didn't mention which side he was on.
Yep.
So she goes to find a place to hide, to wait for things to die down and figure out what to do.
Yeah, and she's kind of hoping she's not going to get killed because she's just like,
She looks like someone who's just like stuck in the tower.
Yeah, just like a civilian. So like, why would they stick her?
Right. So we get a perspective change, a flop to Swan in her cell. And this is after she's been tortured and questioned for a long time.
Yeah, she doesn't know how long.
Yeah, and we skip all of that.
Yes, we do.
This is a very interesting writing technique.
It is. And honestly, it's nice because we don't have to like glamorize the torture part. Yeah. It's just like the aftermath.
Right. So, turns out that no one has been held down here since Hawkwing's time, not since Bonwyn.
Yes, and you probably for sure remember who Bonwyn is.
Was that the last Aes Sedai who was stilled?
Okay, so yeah, back in the Great Hunt, Chapter 5, there have been 2 Amyrlin seats who have been stripped of the staff and stole. Tetsuan, who betrayed Manetheren, who was jealous because of Elisan's power, and then Bonwin, who tried to play Archer Hawkwing as a puppet and almost got everybody killed and destroyed.
Got it.
So, yeah.
Okay, so that's very similar to what Swan and Moraine are doing, trying to play Ran like a puppet and like
boom,
almost
backfire.
Getting everyone destroyed.
Well, they're not near destruction right now, so.
Not yet.
Oh, not yet, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and back then when they were like, what we planned could get us stilled.
Yeah.
At that moment in my brain,
that was the game
I was
you played.
like, Swan's getting stilled.
Ooh, what about Moraine?
No, Moraine can't. Like, no.
Moraine
Moraine
can't?
is, not can't, but Moraine is too, flexible.
Okay.
She darts around.
She's on the run too much? She's not, like, in the tower as a figurehead?
She can change her path of, like, what she wants done or what she wants to do.
Okay.
She can sort of adapt and adjust. So, now we're gonna get into this section here where Swan is naked. It's clearly Min's viewing.
Yeah, 100%.
And we get information that she was stilled.
Yes.
And I have to say that this is where I definitely saw this coming. We had a question and answer episode that we did.
Okay.
About which of the leaders were going to like succeed or do really well.
Oh, okay.
In terms of like Pedra Nile.
Yeah.
Lady Suroth, Swan, Morgase. Like in terms of all of the leaders. And my answer was, I think that everybody except for Swan is going to get far and do well because they've already had instances of having to adapt to situations and change their course of plan.
Okay.
And they go with it, whereas Swan is very rigid, unwilling to adapt or change, and is like, no, this is what needs done, this is what we're doing, and she goes forward from there. And if you're unwilling to adapt or be flexible or change or
you get deposed and stilled.
Right.
Shoot.
And I said that was probably 3 or 4 months ago.
That's great. Okay.
Yeah. And so right from there, I don't know. Hey. Do you not remember that?
No, I don't. I don't remember a lot of things. At the time,
you're probably like, oh shit.
Yeah. Mostly that's what I think.
I hope that you were thinking that, because I wasn't surprised at all that this happened. Now, let me tell you, I was surprised that it was happening so soon.
Ooh, so you're thinking like later in the series.
I was not expecting it in book 4.
Boom, book 4. Yep.
Yes. That is the absolute shocker for me.
Nice. Okay, well, at least we got you there.
Yes.
I'm happy for that.
Because now it's less about outside sort of stuff going on.
Yeah.
It's less about, we have to travel to this city and do a job.
Yeah.
Now it's more about what's happening to our characters more than what are our characters doing.
Yeah. Okay.
Does that make sense?
And now we have to consider that we've got someone who isn't on Rand's side running the White Tower.
Yeah.
Like beforehand, we had Swan, who, believed in his, had good intentions.
Yeah.
She wants him to be the Dragon Reborn and face the Dark One and all that. But now Elina clearly is not on Rand's side.
Right.
So.
Right. Okay. So in this scene, we get Swan recalling some of the events. She lost her ring. She was tortured. She told them nearly everything. Almost everything. She did keep some things from them.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping one of the small things she kept from them was that she's working with Moraine. But that doesn't seem very small.
Elina knows that they were
buddies.
Yeah, she remembers that specifically.
I know. So I think that Moraine might be in a little bit of trouble, but I think that they're not expecting Moraine to be as strong as she is.
Okay.
And I think that
balefire everywhere.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Except that isn't that illegal?
Yeah, it's not good. It's frowned upon.
Yeah. I think that Moraine is gonna somehow get word and have to come back, and that's how Elina is gonna be removed.
Because of Moraine?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, I like that. Okay. Cool.
I never can read your face.
Just what 1v1 showdown type deal?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Her and Varen.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, Varen can't even do anything except make it rain for too long. Okay.
She knows things.
Yeah, so we get Lyanna is in the cell with her. She's got to stop calling her mother.
Yeah, probably time to lose that.
Drop the titles.
Yeah.
Swan's been stilled. There's nothing left, only emptiness. Swan speculates that Elina has been raised to Evelyn in her place, and someone now is coming. The sound of a key in a lock gets Swan's attention, and they get up to face whoever's coming in on their feet.
Yeah, so very surface level of what's happening here. Like, they've been through a lot, so...
Yeah.
But yeah, that's someone who's coming.
All right, it's Min. Flip.
I mean, it's hard to say in the moment, like, did you expect it to be Min, boom, or was it like a jailer coming or something?
I have to tell you that it was so right away, I didn't even have time
I didn't even consider.
to, like, speculate.
Yep. No, that's fair.
If I had to guess, I would have assumed it was like Elina coming back.
Yeah, like, you know,
especially based on Swan's reaction, like, get up.
Yeah.
We are going to face them on our feet.
Yeah, I'm not going to be curled on the floor, so.
Yeah, so that's, like, I guess the obvious thought.
But hey, it's not.
It's not, it's Min.
It's not.
So she's using a key in a rusty lock, and Laris is here with her.
Yeah.
And so now we get Min recalling the events that have transpired.
It's all callbacks of what happened.
Yes. So, Laris was looking for her, very worried about keeping Elmindrada alive.
Yeah, I gotta say, I love their relationship, even though it's super weird and I'm not 100% sure why it is what it is. But I love that Laris loves Min so much.
It's hilarious.
Because it reminds her
of her. And Min just sort of, like, goes with it, even though she's like, this is weird.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why I remind you of you so much. Like, I'm not even a person.
Yeah, I was just like a make-believe character, and Laris is like, oh, it's just like me when I was young.
Yeah.
I'm gonna help you break these prisoners free because you remind me of me.
Yeah. So Laris got Min's plan out of her, and then says she'll help Min to free Swan and Leanne, because apparently this is Aes Sedai business.
Yes.
She's just a cook and doesn't really care.
Do you want to know something weird that I picked up on here?
Okay.
That I don't think that I've picked up on before?
Oh, I do want to know this.
Okay, because it was like a big, like, what the fuck moment for me. But Min thinks that she doesn't want to get caught and have her head up on a spike like the ones that are already decorating the tower. So that means there are heads decorating the front of the tower right now currently.
Oh, and now is that an always thing? Or is that just this thing?
We've never had a reference before.
But it's probably like, all the heads of the Blue Ajas and like warders they've killed.
But that's the crazy part. It's like, yeah, I can understand the whole like a coup to remove someone in power who you don't believe is in power. Even though it's a little bit like she didn't use the full hall of the tower to like get the votes. Like she kind of did it.
But then like war in the tower
war broke out. And it's like that would be devastating because it's like warder fighting student and other warders like and Aes Sedai fighting Aes Sedai. It's crazy infighting. But then to take it the next step and put heads on spikes.
Yeah, I did not pick that up.
Yeah, so I read it twice and now I want to double check that I read it properly. Yeah, so she thought to herself that she should be on a horse and off for Tyr while she had the chance before someone decided to add her head to those decorating the front of the tower.
Shit.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's probably...
It's bad.
It's the people who tried to help Swan. It's probably like Hammer.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeesh.
It's bad.
Yeesh.
It's so bad.
That is actually quite bad.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing to be like, you're sworn enemies.
That's what I'm saying. It's like that was the guy you were like fighting and training beside yesterday.
Yeah. And now his head's
You're putting his head on.
Interesting.
A spike. So.
Oh, okay.
Not good.
No. So Min sees inside the cell and it's two women, but she doesn't know if they're the right ones because their faces sort of look right, but the agelessness of Aes Sedai is gone. And they look barely a few years older than her.
Yeah.
Quite young.
Very interesting. And I want to come back to that too.
Okay.
Near the end.
Do you want my speculation?
Yeah, I do. I do want that, but we get more from Swan later too, so.
Yeah, so at this moment, I thought, I used to think it was like a Dorian Gray situation.
That means almost nothing to me. What does that mean?
That's the guy who ages in the painting and doesn't age.
Right, okay.
In the world.
Is that like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen?
Yeah,
stuff?
But Dorian Gray is also like
a thing.
A story. Yeah.
Not just from that movie.
No, but it was used in that movie.
Okay.
You're right. It was a great movie. Sean Connery.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was excellent. But excellent in like the worst way. But
back to reverse aging.
Yeah, so I thought it was like they held off age, and then once they're stilled, they were like immediately
boom, super old.
So if they were like, I don't know.
You don't know how old they are, and you don't know how long Aes Sedai live.
No, I do know for sure that Swan is at least 40, I think. Because I think...
Why do you know that?
I'm just... Here's my speculation, because same with her and Moiraine. I think they're both around 40, because 20 years ago, they were just being bumped up
Yes,
to
okay, yeah.
Aes Sedai, or accepted, or whatever. They were just in the middle of their, like, training.
Yes.
So they were quite young, probably around 20.
Gotcha.
Because
that makes sense.
Nynaeve is old
Yeah.
to be in the training, and we know she's, like, about 25.
Yes.
So they were at least, they were about 20, and we know it's been 20 years.
That's good logic. So around 40-ish.
Around 40.
Okay.
So, but we do know that there are way older, like Sheriam and
like,
Varen.
Yeah, super old.
Super old. So if they're like, I don't know, 80 or 100, like I actually have no idea.
Yeah.
But if they're like 80 and then they get stilled, then it's like, boom, 80-year-old face.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's what I like.
But clearly
imagined.
not that.
It's like you get brought back to when you first took your vows, almost, or your oath. So like your face goes back to when you first got your Aes Sedai agelessness.
Yeah.
And then you're going to age like normally from there.
Okay.
So it's like you stopped aging at age 20, for example.
Yeah.
Then you get stilled. You don't have your power anymore. You're not an Aes Sedai anymore.
So flip
so
back.
Then now you start at 20.
Love it. Okay.
That's like the only thing that makes any sense here.
That's some pretty good logic. I like that.
Okay. So Min, turns out, let the guard think she was going to trade some kisses for something or other. And Laris cracked him on the head with her rolling pin.
Yeah.
Which is like the funniest trope.
Yeah. It's like, you probably broke his skull.
Yeah. And I mean, like, not like a stick she found, not with a brick sitting on the floor.
Pin.
She's running around with a rolling pin.
Well, it's in her apron, probably.
And that's the other thing. She's wearing an apron. Like
she's a cook. She's a cook, of course. Of course she's
like,
wearing that.
That's just like classic, like almost like if this was a cartoon.
Yeah.
Or one of those like British comedies.
Like, are there stars spinning around his head too?
Yes.
But I do like also, because Min doesn't necessarily recognize them. They don't look right to her. But then as soon as Swan talks and she's like, yeah, what are you doing here? Laris is like, yep, that's her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But back to this stupid guard.
Anyways, yeah.
This is a really incompetent guard.
Yeah.
Like, who's like, yeah, sure, head on in.
He's got the worst job right now. He's like babysitting a cell door that's locked for two women who are stilled.
Yeah.
Of course he's doing a bad job.
People who want to break in and break them free.
Okay, are you going to tell me that all like security guards are like the most competent people?
No,
not disparaging.
I'm just saying
not everyone is the best at their job.
I've actually really recently seen a lot of memes about the innocent guards who like always just die. It's like, oh, it took a security job to feed my children.
Yeah.
And then it's just like dead over here.
Dead.
Yeah.
Shoot. It's like,
I've seen quite a few of those recently.
Yeah.
Anyway, so turns out Min has brought them some brown woolen dresses because 3 plainly dressed women be able to sneak out of the tower because there's lots of petitioners and regular people all caught up in the fighting and stuff, and 3 more might be able to sneak by. That's the plan anyway.
Like, that's kind of the thing that I always kind of forget, is that the White Tower and Tar Valon is like big. That there's like the inner grounds and the outer, and it's like a city.
Yeah, it's not like the Stone of Tyr.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like Matt and Tom were gambling in the city part and drinking of Tar Valon. So it's like it's bigger than it seems.
Yeah. Okay. So Laris tells Min, I won't give you guys away. She really doesn't give a shit about the Aes Sedai, but she super cares about Elmindrada.
So it wasn't the title.
It wasn't the title.
Okay. All right.
Swan tells Min that her and Lyanna are stilled. Oh, I hate to break it to you, Min.
Yeah.
And then Min's like, yeah,
I know.
Yeah, I know. It was announced in every square in the city.
They're hanging up the old-timey, like, posters.
Yes, they are. Extra, extra.
Yeah.
Read all about it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Little newspaper boy.
So now it's time to get the hell out of here. Most of the hallways are empty, but everyone is sort of hurrying around, all keeping to themselves.
Yeah, they, like, everyone is on edge here, too.
Yeah.
And I forget, too, that Swan and Lyanna have no clue what happened.
No, none.
Because they got taken directly from the study.
Well, we're learning about it at the same time as they are.
Yeah,
we didn't know any of this happened either. Like, we saw Gawain, like, running, and we sort of
we saw some.
We got that hint that, like, some stuff was going on.
Yeah.
But, yeah, to the extent, like, we didn't know.
Yeah.
So they're heading through the tower. There's like bloodstains on the floor, and it leads Swan to demand to know what exactly happened here.
Yeah, all the bloodstains and body dragging.
Yeah, so she definitely still has like the mind of the Amerlin.
Yeah.
Like, demanding to know what's going on here. And
That's
it's
probably going to take a while to break.
And it's like, you can't demand anything.
Yeah.
By the way. So Min tells them there's been fighting since yesterday after they were taken. So we get like a timeline, like how long it's been.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, until about 2 hours ago. So warders, guardsmen, everyone fighting everyone. And then Swan realizes that the tower has broken itself.
Okay.
Something even Hawkwing could not do.
Yeah. So they did it themselves, but I want to point out the little thing about friggin' Danelle.
Yeah.
Yeah, because at the start of this chapter, when Swan was looking through all the reports, she pointed out that Danelle must have spacey and didn't realize that there was an extra like 200 or 300 guard masons that were being hired or whatever
to like quote add an addition to the library.
Well, she was saying that many people could like rebuild the entire library itself too, so it's like way too many. And Swan blamed it on Danelle's spaciness, but it turns out that she was basically buying mercenaries to come in to overthrow when this all was going down.
Yeah.
So friggin' Danelle.
Well, and I think it's interesting too that they anticipated there being like full out riots, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, the fact that they knew what they were doing was going to be controversial and a bunch of people were going to die.
And they were like, we need more people in here.
And they're like, we're going to do this anyway.
Yeah.
Rather than them thinking, okay, we're going to overthrow Swan and then everyone will just listen to me, and not quite being prepared for a backlash. They were prepared for this backlash and they won. And
it was planned for a while because like it takes time and money to get that many men in.
Well, and let me tell you, it was planned for a while because Min only typically is going to see visions that are solid that she saw when things are like decided that's gonna happen.
Okay.
And she saw that a long time ago.
Well, I mean, in Min, she like timeline isn't a thing.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying when Min sees a vision, for example, she sees Gawain later and it's like flipping back and forth, like the future isn't decided.
Sure.
When she sees a vision, it means the future's been decided.
Okay.
So that means somebody somewhere had decided and started planning that like this was going to happen, because when Elina saw Min for the first time, that was when Min first showed up at the tower.
Okay.
That was the same day.
I think I get what you're saying, but I'm going to push back because again, it doesn't mean someone decided to do something. She's seen people who are going to get married who had never met each other before.
That's true.
So it doesn't matter if someone decided anything. But it means that
somebody decided something that was going to bring those two people together. Like that's how that all works.
Okay.
Right?
Well, it's a pattern thing.
Yeah.
That's all we know is that it's a pattern thing.
Okay.
Something to think about.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay. Back to this though, because Elina did not wait to find out if any of the Blue Azure would stand for Swan.
This is also crazy.
There isn't a blue sister still in the tower, not alive.
So they just went on a killing rampage.
Well, and that makes me think...
Or driving them out.
Well, and that makes me think that those are the heads. Because, like, they're still in the tower.
Yeah, okay.
But they're not alive.
So, Blue Sisters.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all-out war on an entire Aja.
Yep.
Like, that's also crazy that happened.
Yeah. Well, I find it interesting that it's blue against red, whereas I think, based on their values, that it should be reds against green. Like, their core value, their core belief, like the hatred of men and then the loving of men.
Yeah, I can kind of see that too.
Like that just, to me, just seems opposite, and it just makes sense that they go against each other. But I guess blues also...
We have gotten it where blues and greens are generally aligned on topics, and that's where we kind of get here that there's not many greens left, but there's still some. So it's like just a little bit split still.
Yeah, okay. So Liana asks about Sheriam and Anaya, but it's unknown. Not many greens are left either. The Aja split... Like, the other Aja split one way or another.
Yeah.
And most of the reds are still here.
Which makes sense.
So, all of this is for sure what Min saw when she first got to the tower. And in that episode, I have not gone back to listen to it. And I don't remember all of my predictions.
Okay.
But I'm sure I did not predict this.
No. But
all of my predictions are for sure wrong.
Well, not all. Well, okay, but here's the thing.
Because I predicted the Shan-Chen were going to come attack.
That's because we saw one of the sisters with an Adam around her neck.
Yes.
So we don't know if that means it was physically happening in the White Tower, or if like she is gonna like maybe go away and get captured in the future.
Yes.
Like we don't know that has anything to do with the tower.
Yeah,
so.
I think that was a sneak sentence.
Probably.
From Robert Jordan. I thought it was like, a sentence that's easy to overlook, that's like clear what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But no. It's a sneaky sentence to make you think that's what's gonna happen, and then it's not what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So I can admit when I'm wrong.
All right.
It's this, I was wrong.
That's okay.
I did not
We both had to admit we were wrong today, so.
There we go. So charges have been laid against Swan and Liana. They are accused of arranging for Mazrim Time's escape.
Yeah.
Blamed for Loghain's escape during the fighting.
That's big.
That's huge.
Huge.
Yeah.
I mean, we get more on that later.
I was excited about it because I still really like Loghain.
Yeah.
And I'm like rooting for him to get his power back. So,
well, hey, now you've got a little bit more for that.
Yeah,
so.
he's escaped. So they didn't explicitly name them Black Aja or Dark Friends, but it's quite implied.
Yeah. So
which is bold.
I mean, this is the thing, too, we have to understand. Like, from your perspective and from what we've seen, Elida is not Black Aja. Like, she's not a dark friend.
No, absolutely not.
Like, she may have made some questionable decisions, but she's not evil in that sense.
No.
So.
Nope.
Yeah.
But, like, she might legitimately think that Swan is.
Yeah.
But wanted other people to believe it, so she, like, made up all these things.
Because she can't lie.
Yeah.
She can't lie and say she's a dark friend or a Black Aja because she doesn't act. It's like, that's the whole thing, too.
And if Elida genuinely believes that Swan might have had something to do, then she can say it.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's how the lying works. It's like whatever you believe, you can say.
If you're responsible. And I mean, in a sense, Swan would be responsible for Time's escape because she sent the sisters to go and capture him. So, like, okay.
Yeah.
You know, a couple times removed.
It's loose.
Yeah.
But yeah. So they're all sneaking out, and then Elida and her crew come their way, and they all sink to their knees, hoping they won't be noticed, and then they just aren't.
Yeah.
So that was uneventful.
It was.
And then Swan sees Elida and just pure hatred. Hates her so much.
Well, this was to tell us that Elida's Amberlin and Alviarin is the Keeper of the Chronicles.
That's exactly.
That's basically what the scene is for.
No, and it's also for finding out that very few women have been stilled and none survive long, but it's said that if you want to survive being stilled, you must find something you want as much as you wanted to channel.
And that is revenge.
Swan wants nothing more than getting revenge on Elida and Alviarin.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there you go.
Yeah. So now they get to their horses that Min hid for them, and Swan goes for Bella. And Gawain shows up and is like, her horse? Her horse?
Yeah.
It's Egwene's horse.
Also, did you catch when Min was like, oh, that has to have been the worst of it?
Yeah.
It's like, why'd you have to say that?
Yeah.
Obviously, now it's not the worst of it.
Yeah. But Gawain shows up with his face all bloody, like Min's viewing.
Yes. Okay.
And now, I have to tell you, when he showed up, I didn't think it was going to be a bad thing that he was showing up.
Okay. Shoot. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, his face is all bloody. He's been fighting. And she was all like, oh, you didn't say what side you were on. But then, like...
it's all bad.
It's bad.
It's all terrible. Well, actually, that's, in my opinion, it's all bad.
Yeah.
Do you agree or do you disagree?
Yes, I do. I still have my note about Elida at the end.
Okay,
It also has to do with Gawain.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not that interesting, but we'll get to it.
Okay.
So... Gawain uses his sword to push back Swan's hood. Min tries to tell him no, and Gawain is on like serious edge. He puts his sword to Swan's neck and then straight up asks, where are my sister and Egwene?
Yeah, he's a dangerous guy right now. Like, he is not stable.
No.
And he's also...
He probably hasn't slept. He probably hasn't ate. He's been fighting. He's been killing warders and warder trainers.
His mentors and teachers and... Yeah. Friends. So it's not good.
No.
But Gawain is also good. Just like if you're not sure how good he is, he's fast. He's really good.
He's good. He's a good fighter.
Skilled, yeah.
Right now, he's not good guy.
Not good guy. Very good fighter guy, though.
Good.
Okay.
Got it. Okay. But Swan doesn't answer plainly right away. Like, she's like, oh, last I heard, they're safe and well. And Gawain just sounds like tired and emotionless. He wants a straight answer. And then Swan tells him they're in Ilion.
Yeah. So she straight up lies.
Yeah.
Like, very lie.
And I went,
The most lie that she's ever been able to lie.
She can lie now.
She did it.
And Min takes note of that.
Yeah.
She's like, good for me to remember that she can lie now.
Yeah, and it's also good to know that Gawain assumes that they can't lie still.
Yeah.
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 Which is helpful.
Yeah. So Min tries to talk Gawain down a bit, tells him that Elaine and Egwene support Swan and everything she's done, and Gawain wants Swan to tell him why he shouldn't turn her in.
Yes. It's a very conflicted nature he's got right now.
Well, considering everything he's just been through.
Yeah. He made a lot of bad decisions, probably.
Like, against her.
Yeah.
And now here she is. And then he's just going to flip-flop on his morals?
Yep.
Like, that fast?
He's flip-flopping.
It's, yeah, that
Flippity-flop.
part I don't love.
Okay.
So Swan says she went from the most powerful person in the world to hoping she can even find a place to sleep tonight. Shouldn't that be punishment enough? And Gawain says he'll let them go because Elina might take their heads and he still needs what she knows.
Yeah, so like we kind of get a bit of insight into his rationale of why he is flip-flopping so hard right now. But I mean, what is that information he needs to know?
Yeah.
What does he want to know?
I don't know. I don't
I
don't know if it's anything, but I think that Min is getting to him about the fact that she for sure knows where Egwene and Elaine are.
Yeah.
I think that that's probably the main thing that Min is saying. Like, when she says, oh, they trust Swan, you should too.
Yeah.
I think what she's really telling Gawain is she knows where they are.
So, like, if you keep her alive, you might be able to find your sister
find
again.
them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah. And so we also get that Min is also wanted for arrest, which means that Elina knows who she is.
Yes. And we know that she knows that.
And now Min
but now
knows.
she knows that she knows.
Yeah. So Gawain will take them to the nearest gate to help get them through, and he says they would never get by without his help.
Which is true now.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Swan is looking for the positives of being stilled, like she's looking young, it's a disguise, and now she can't be sensed by other Aes Sedai. She's like trying really hard.
Plus, you lost a good 15 years, maybe more, in your appearance.
Exactly. So they head up the path to the gate, and there are 20 young men who meet up with Gawain. These are the younglings.
The younglings, yep.
And Min is not telling Swan that these are the younglings that prevented warders from the Blue and Green Aja from freeing them before they were stilled.
Yeah, so that's pretty crazy.
And that fighting was the deadliest, and turns out it's Gawain's fault.
Yes.
So
and we
Gawain
saw that.
led the charge against warders from Blue and Green Aja who wanted to save Swan and Leanne.
Well, we saw that when we first saw Gawain and Min. He was like, Hammer's trying to break Swan free. I have to go. So that's where he went and did that thing.
Killed them.
Killed him. Shoot.
Yeah.
I have questions about that in a couple more minutes here.
Okay. So Gawain is confronted by an officer at the guard post who gives him some attitude because no one is to leave the tower on orders from the, in brackets, new Amyrlin.
Yeah.
And Gawain tells him that he means to see these women leave, or he means to see the guy dead.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty cool line. I'm not going to lie. That's not a bad one. Kind of makes Gawain a badass.
Yeah, and so we learn now that Gawain is the one who killed Coolin and Hamar, and those are the Wardermaster trainer guys.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
And at this point, I had to read that a couple times, and I'm just like, fuck off, Gawain.
Okay.
I can't stand Gawain.
So I agree with you. It's terrible. And the whole speculation is this as a general premise. So the fighting breaks out, and clearly everyone who didn't know what was really going on split into two factions immediately.
Yeah.
Right? The
you
Blue Aja.
Pick a side. Yeah.
You pick a side immediately, go with what you know. So we've got the old veteran warders, basically, who are siding with the Amyrlin because, like, that's the Amyrlin. We dedicate
and
our
Elina,
lives to her.
who, like, was not even in the tower for the past 20 years. Like, she's
exactly.
been in Camelin.
And it's like, oh, she just came in and did like minimum vote. And they probably didn't know like what the voting situation
Definitely
was.
not,
but it's like, hey, there's a coup happening.
Yeah.
So all the veteran old guys are like, no, that's not happening. So they go to try and free them. And then all the young people, led by Gawain, who already has like a little bit of a, hatred for Swan, the younglings start fighting all their masters. So the real question is, we got to see Gawain and Galad facing off versus like Hammer and Coolin, and they were still only winning like 1 in 5 or 2 in 5 or so.
Mm-hmm.
So the way I kind of view it is like, are the young new guys, I say new guys, but are the younglings actually better than the veterans, or was it the fact that the old guys, the old veterans, weren't necessarily willing to kill their students?
Yeah.
Like, I could see that harder for a veteran to go out there and be like, I'm going to kill my student, and just like being like, you guys are making the wrong decision, stop fighting.
Yeah.
And Gawain and the hot-headed younglings like just
they
going
were probably,
for blood.
Yeah, they were. I agree with that. I think that they were probably trying to stop them from fighting,
stop them, and
rather
not going
than actually fighting them,
and not actually fighting and like dealing killing blows. Because like I can't imagine that all the old veterans would get taken down by all these young guys unless it was like a messed up circumstance like that. So
yeah, right. And then also in this particular spot where we learn that Gawain was the one who killed them, or at least helped in the fact that they were killed.
No, he straight up killed them.
Okay. Then I want to know, like, I don't get Gawain's motives.
Yes.
Because after everything he's done, standing against Swan, straight up murder, kill all these people, and then he's standing here with Min and Swan, and he's letting them go. Like, his mind is changed so easily. I don't get it.
Yes.
It's annoying.
It is annoying. It is annoying, and you're going to have to live with that for now.
Well, I hate it.
Yeah. No, we all hate it. Everyone hates it.
Okay. Cool. Because it's bad.
Yeah. So here's a question.
What?
Where's Galad?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Where's that guy? I don't know. Do you want me to speculate?
I want you to speculate.
I didn't even think about him.
You didn't think about Galad. He's the hot one.
I know.
He's the one who's supposed to be better than Gawain, too.
Yeah.
Gawain doesn't even mention Galad.
Maybe he, like, helped get the children and the women out. Like, he's very righteous. Oh,
yeah. Okay.
He's very righteous. He's always going to do what's right. And in this very convoluted situation, maybe he wasn't sure what was right.
Save the innocents.
Okay,
I like that. That's not bad.
Probably completely wrong.
It could be.
But it's all I have right now.
But it's not bad. It's just so weird. Like, he's not mentioned. No one sees him. He's not speculated. Like,
although, so he's somebody who's a bit older, who will know Elida very well.
Yes.
So he might be like Alviarin's new warder, or so, like he might be like literally right beside Elida, because we don't know the relationship.
We didn't see him in that posse though.
No, not yet. But he might be like doing stuff for them. Like he might be like the guy for Elida right now.
So here's the thing: we saw Galad with it was like a cloak of white or something like that, shrouded in white.
Oh yeah, the whole Children of the Light thing. He's drinking with with the children in a bar.
But possibly, but I was also going to say Alviarin is white.
Oh, yeah, it's not that. Because that's referring to the white cloaks, probably.
Okay, but you just said that he might be her new
warder. I know what I said. I know that. But I don't think the warders wear the color of the...
You don't know.
And I mean, viewings are viewings.
Viewings are viewings. It's like...
So he either is super righteous...
I don't think it was a cloak. It was like a shroud of white or something.
Yeah,
I could look it up, but...
I don't care.
Whatever.
He's either saving all the women and the children.
Okay.
Or he's like Elida's right-hand dude.
Okay. I love
because
it.
I don't know their relationship.
Yeah.
And what it was like when he was growing up. They're clearly hated by his sister and... Well. Right?
Yeah. It very could possibly be like a good relationship. To the extent that those two I could see having a good relationship.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe he's like for it and he's there helping.
I could see Galad being like, oh, it's right to be subservient to an Aes Sedai. And I could see Elida loving that Galad is just going to like listen to whatever she says all the time.
And it's like the only like man she would ever like trust.
Yeah.
Is going to be somebody who she like helped raise.
Like exactly. So.
Okay. Yeah, that probably makes more sense. I like that one.
Okay.
That's probably actually. So back to the gate.
Yes.
Back to them leaving because Gawain gives the guard a paper and says they have permission to leave. He seals it. They can leave by horse on a bridge or boat, and they take off.
Yeah.
Swan and Leanne are in a tough spot. They argue about their purpose right now. They clearly cannot challenge the tower like this, being all stilled and everything.
Yeah, and not right now.
And, like, what are they supposed to do? Rally the Aes Sedai? Are they supposed to see Elida pulled down? Plus, Rand can't fall into Elida's hands. So, like, what's the plan right now?
There's also, like, keep in mind, they're both just stilled, and Swan just lost her warder.
Yes.
So, like, there's a lot going on emotionally.
There's a lot happening. Plus, like, all the blues are gone and dead.
Yeah.
So...
But wait, there's more.
Yeah, well, okay. So the plan is sort of to find the Aes Sedai who fled, because the pass that they have doesn't say 3 women. It just says the bearers of this note can leave.
Yes, and the reason why Swan asks specifically what's the wording is because...
She sees Logain.
Yeah, she sees Logain running ahead.
Yeah.
And she's like, hey, what does that note say? Okay, I got it. Let's go.
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting because Swan is peering ahead at a large, dark-haired man who is running, and then she takes off to catch the man, and I didn't even have time. Like, I predicted, I was like, oh, I bet this is Logain.
Yeah.
And then, like, a sentence later, it's like, hey, Logain. I was like, I thought I was going to have at least some time to predict who this was.
No, it's him.
Yeah, but I did. I predicted it.
Yeah.
So it's Logain.
It's, okay.
He immediately gives up, slumps to his knees.
It's so sad.
Well, it's been how long of him just, like, having to be subservient?
And also, like, an accepted follows him around to make sure he doesn't kill himself, even though he just wants to die.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
Yeah, so he doesn't want to harm anyone. He just wants to get away, to die somewhere in peace. And I just said, I like him. I like him. So he can't leave because all the bridges are guarded and he's tried.
Yes, every single one.
Yeah. And so Logain doesn't recognize them because he sees they're not Aes Sedai.
Yeah.
And he's like, who are you? What do you want? And Swan says she's the woman who can get him out of Tar Valon and perhaps a chance to strike back at the Red Aja.
Yeah, you'll notice she doesn't tell him who she is.
No. She does not.
For more than one reason, but also she was the one who gave the orders to have Logain stilled.
Yeah, for sure.
Gentled. I don't know why I always do that.
Yeah, you do always do
always.
That.
It's
corrected
just
yourself this time.
I did. I caught it this time, but hey.
Okay. So we get some Min speculating on her viewings because as they're talking to Logain, his halo of golden blue is sparkling above his head.
Speaking of glory, glory to come.
Yep. And then Gawain had 2 viewings flickering back and forth.
Yeah.
It was either one of him kneeling at Egwene's feet with his head bowed, or one of him breaking Egwene's neck.
That's so bad.
And either could be the future. It hasn't been decided yet.
A perfect relationship.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of like...
Can I predict which one is going to come true?
Sure, yeah.
I really don't think he's killing Egwene.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
That would be shocking.
Shocking.
Yeah. I've been shocked before.
Okay, but also it's like a Min viewing, so does it literally mean breaking of the neck or some sort of like,
no, that literally means metaphorically he's going to murder her.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, now the new fun group of Min, Swan, Lyanna, and Logan set off.
You got like half of those names wrong.
Min, Swan, Lyanna, and Logan?
Like you said Logan, and I'm pretty sure you said Liana.
Doesn't matter, Liane.
These 4.
That's how the actress says it.
I know.
I've heard it.
We don't have time for that.
Okay.
But I have a question about this.
No, I have my note I need
Oh my
to
god,
say.
your note. Okay, do your note first.
I dislike Gawain more than I dislike Elida.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. After this, I still am kind of on Elida's side.
Okay.
I get her motives. I see where she's coming from. I don't love what she's done.
She's also not wrong in the sense that Swan and Moraine kept a gigantic secret for a long, long time, didn't get everyone on board, and if they had of, for whatever reason, said something 20 years ago, maybe the White Tower could have prepared for 20 years for the coming of the Dragon Reborn.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, we got a foretelling. The dragon is born. We only got 20 years left.
Yeah.
And instead they kept it secret and they're like, we're going to do it ourselves.
Yeah.
Instead of like engaging the entire tower to like,
so are you saying
fire
that,
on
like,
all cylinders.
communication was bad?
Communication was bad. That's like the literal story of the Wheel of Time.
Yeah.
They didn't talk to each other.
Anyway, so Gawain here, who like can't make up his freaking mind of which side he's on, just goes around murdering people.
Yep.
I hate it. I hate everything that he does here. Like, even if he didn't let them go and brought them to Elida,
Sure.
I would have respected him more for sticking to his
Stick to the side, yeah.
Sticking to what you've just done.
Okay, 2 questions. Question number 1.
I could see people, sorry, just one more thing. I could see people arguing and countering me saying that this is his, like, redemption. Maybe he's starting to, I don't know.
He made bad mistakes and
feel
he's coming
some
around.
remorse or feel like, oh shit, this is all crazy. I don't know what I'm doing. At least I can do this good thing.
Okay.
Like, maybe there is some redemption there. But my personal view on this while I was reading was I hated everything he said and did.
Yeah. No, I think those are totally valid feelings.
Yeah, okay.
Question number 1. How is Elena and Egwene going to react to finding out, if they ever do, that Gawain did this?
They're not going to find out.
Oh, okay.
They don't even know that Perrin's in the 2 rivers.
That's fair, but like Gawain and Egwene have this kind of weird little thing of
not for a long, long, long time.
Well, I mean, it's...
No.
Yeah, okay.
No. So that's my answer to your question.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, it's a cow's opinion.
Yes.
Yeah. Question number 2, with Swan and Lyanna and Logain, is there going to be an issue if Logain ever finds out who these 2 actually are? Or are they going to play it totally secret?
I think they're going to play it secret. Even if he finds out, they've been fucked over just like he's been fucked over.
Yeah, so it's like
and
same
really,
boat?
they're same boat.
Okay.
He can be mad at them, whatever, but like I don't think he has mad, like angry left in him. I think he only
just
has
sadness. Yeah, okay.
and like despair.
Yeah.
And so the fact that they have some like life and some oomph.
Yeah. Maybe they can help him find a purpose too.
You know what's interesting is Swan is like, get back at the Red Aja, and Moraine offered Tom names of Red Aja.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Things to think about.
Yeah. That's a lot. That was a lot. That was big. That was
heavy.
heavy.
That was a huge chapter.
That was heavy.
Luckily, this next one is not so big.
Yeah. Okay. We had a quick break after that intense chapter.
Yeah.
Drink
that was a
refill.
lot.
Let's finish off strong. Chapter 48. An offer refused.
Yeah, and it's an interesting offer, and we got to speculate a whole bunch because what is happening?
Yeah, I don't know. The chapter symbol is the Aiel shield and spears.
Yeah.
Maybe because they're in the waist.
And they're Aiel.
There's Aiel around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Maybe. I don't know. Whatever. Okay. Out of all the things to
what
speculate.
Else would it be?
Okay. So last time with Rand, they were at Imri's stand with the sketchy peddlers and gleemen.
Yep.
There was a strange as fuck Trolloc attack.
There was.
Because Trollocs don't come into the waste. Where do they come from? What's going on?
They bust out of the wagons.
Yeah. And wait.
No. That was your speculation.
That was my speculation. Yeah. I was like, are you confirming?
No, that didn't happen. Doesn't make sense.
Okay. I think it made sense. So some other sort of things happened too.
Yeah.
Matt got a hat.
Matt got a hat. Matt bought a hat.
Yeah. But not really much. So
not really, so.
They were just wandering around the waste to get to this place where Rand is going to hold a chief meeting.
Yes.
Is that Cold Rock's Hold?
No.
No.
The Golden Bowl.
Yeah, I know, but I thought maybe that was in Cold Rock's Hold.
No, it's close.
It's close, though.
Yeah. It's like the closest place. This is Rourke's Hold.
Yeah. Okay. I get it now.
Yeah.
So we're in Rand's perspective. We have Avienda being very aggressive towards Rand about him looking at other women.
Still being aggressive. Yep. It hasn't stopped.
It hasn't stopped. It's continued. Avienda tells Rand that Isandre is very soft, and Rand disagrees.
Yeah.
He thinks that she's always watching him.
Yeah, he kind of seems suspicious of everybody. Everybody.
I'm fine with it. Me too.
But yeah, but it's like I need some justification from you, especially this chapter, because I want to talk about a couple of points.
I don't know why she's staring at me all the time. Of course I think she's stronger than we think she is.
You're the most powerful man in the world. Yep. And you're not bad to look at. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm just saying.
I'm for it.
Okay.
I appreciate him being suspicious and not super trustworthy of a bunch of strangers.
But I mean, she seems to be a little more interested in somebody else, though.
Well, I think she likes maybe some attention.
Kind of, sort of, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Rand notes that Fat Keely and Natil are arguing again.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to know what Rand is going to do, and he thinks soon they will all find out.
Soon, my secret plan. Okay,
Soon.
I have a question. So I need clarification on a few things here. You think that it's Keely who is Lanfear? That's who you're going with? But then you're like flip-flopping?
Yeah.
So my question is, we see Rand noting that Keely and Natal are arguing again, and they're always arguing, and she's like such a weird person. And when you say that it's Lanfear, it's just such a weird take, because Lanfear doesn't seem like the person who would get into like repetitive, like open squabbles.
It's a part. They're playing a part.
Even playing a part, it's like such weird behavior for this weird show. Like even as Celine playing a part, she didn't play it very well or consistently, but it's like, it's weird.
Unless that this is like Lanfear and some other Forsaken, and they're having legit arguments about what to do.
And they're just a couple of Forsaken in this peddler caravan following Rand?
Yeah. Well, if anyone's gonna follow Rand, like if they're gonna follow anybody, if it was a bunch of Forsaken just hanging out with like parents,
it's just all the peddlers are Forsaken, and it's like, what? Why wouldn't they just attack her? Like maybe do they want to attack Rand? Like, but why? What's the?
Because Lanfear doesn't want Rand dead.
Okay, that's fair. That's a good point.
They want to lure him over to their side. That's the play here.
Okay.
And that's what we get over and over with both the dude whose name I don't remember and the other dude's name I don't remember.
Natal?
Yeah.
Okay.
We get it.
It's just so weird. Okay.
I gotta take some hard stances even
I know.
when they're weird.
I just need like a number of Forsaken that you think are in
8.
this.
No.
Okay.
Probably.
That's like all the ones that are left.
I know. 1 to 2.
1
and
to
it's
2.
either them in disguise or
yeah,
they're controlling them. These are dark friends who are like being controlled by...
They're paid actors.
They're not paid actors. Maybe these are actually the people who they are, but they're dark friends and they're on a mission.
Okay. See that? Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Now we're cooking. And Kadir's like offer that he's that whole okay, let's get there. Anyways, I just want to bring that up now so we can talk about it.
Okay, let me just like breeze through all the stupid shit that's happening.
Yeah, let's get through it. Yeah.
Okay. Avienda's ranting about Isandre not accepting Aiel ways, and then Rand's like, why should she have to accept Aiel ways? She's not Aiel.
Yeah.
And then Avienda's pissed, as always. She goes on about how Rand belongs to Elaine, and then Rand asks Avienda to explain roof mistresses.
Yeah,
because she thinks he's a moron.
Well, he doesn't get it. He's also not listening.
No, he doesn't care. And
which is bad, because he should start learning about the Aiel culture.
Yeah.
Like, bad points for Rand. He should start actually paying attention.
Fair. And it's just interesting, too, because it's something he cannot wrap his head around.
Yeah.
Because in the Aiel society, we get that the women are the bosses.
Yeah,
like,
they're the landowners, too.
They control the shit. And where he comes from, women control things, but from behind the scenes, under the guise that the men run the household.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. At least where he's from.
Yes.
So.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we get that men cannot own houses or land, and when a man and a woman marry, the roof is hers, and he has to ask permission to enter her house.
Yeah, men can't own land.
Yeah.
Crazy. But we also get confirmation that Avienda did not go through the glass columns.
Right.
We speculated that's for the second trip.
Right.
But it's confirmed now.
Yes. So he's like, I don't even get why she's so mad at me then.
So confusing.
Yeah.
Women are complex.
Certainly.
Yeah.
So Rand mentioned to Egwene that Avienda won't speak to him, and then Avienda was brought to the Wise Ones and returned
yeah.
demanding to let her teach him about Aiel customs.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the entire Wise Ones, like, not the entire, but like a big portion of it. They also want her to teach Rand about the Aiel.
Yeah.
Because they want, like, Rand to be a part of their culture. Like, they want him to learn.
And Rand at least likes the Wise Ones not being secretive about their spying.
Yeah.
He's like, at least I know what they want.
But that's why I gotta, like, slap Rand on the wrist here and be like, man, you gotta, like, start learning and studying the people who you belong to, that you're supposed to be their Karakarn.
Ah.
Get
Or
your
do
head-
they belong to him?
They don't belong to anyone. He's supposed to be their leader.
Yeah, but they belong to him now.
They don't belong to anybody.
Yeah,
That's
but
not
then
the
Rand
point.
doesn't belong to them.
Well, he has an obligation.
Mm.
Honor and obligation.
Nah. All right. Rand thinks about how he likes Aviendha because he knows where he stands with her. Except that sometimes during their talks, she almost forgets to hate him.
Ooh. Yeah. Okay.
The warming up is happening.
Okay, a little bit. Well,
The,
sort of.
No, it's happening.
Okay.
Rand thinks about women being very complex, about how Elaine is confusing with her letters, Min is the only one not making him confused, and now Aviendha is creeping into his dreams.
Oh, no.
So complex. This also confirms my beliefs that Aviendha is the third woman,
Interesting.
because this is the sentence where all three of them
Are in his dreams. Okay, and if you dream about her, boom.
Boom.
There it is.
Naked in front of you. In
Naked.
real life also.
All three of them.
Yeah.
Okay. You heard it here first, people.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Anyway, it's just confirming things for me.
Okay.
So, 11 days and nights have gone by since the Trolloc attack of them literally riding around in the waste.
Yeah.
Nothing happening. Except for...
There's lions and spiders and lizards that are poisonous and plants and snakes.
Yeah. All the things in the waste will kill you.
Yeah.
Everything sounds terrible. Everything's bad.
Yeah.
So, Moraine spends some time with Rand, being cryptic, bullying him into telling her his plans.
And it doesn't work.
Rand also gives her cryptic answers back while laughing like a crazy person.
Nobody's happy about
Nobody's
anything
happy.
here, so...
Rand is slowly figuring things out about Egwene's situation.
Okay, this is hilarious.
Because she's passing for a full Aes Sedai, but then 10 mornings ago, Egwene stopped wearing her 2 braids, and Rand thinks this is very confusing.
No, not 10 mornings ago, 10 mornings in. So their journey is...
Oh, so 2 mornings ago?
Yeah, so
Okay.
basically their journey is about 11 to 12 days.
Yeah,
and we're just
Rand
getting
must
a
just
recap.
be... I'm surprised we don't get him thinking, we're wasting time.
Yeah.
Right? Because, like, this is quite a long time. Because he was thinking 3 days was going to be a waste of time waiting for Moraine to get out of Rhuidean.
Yeah.
And now it's been 12.
And now he's just like riding, and he's not looking for portal stones. He's not looking to move fast.
Yeah.
But he maybe also came to accept the fact that it's going to take time for people to get to him anyways. Even if
Fair.
he gets to where he
but
needs
I
to
could
be.
see him being anxious
Anxious about it anyways. Yeah.
So I'm surprised that
That's
there's
true.
in all of this in his head, this entire chapter is in his head only.
Nothing about it. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to what's hilarious. So he does realize that she is passing for full Aes Sedai, but then the confusing part is that when she stops wearing the hair in the 2 braids, it's confusing because then Aviendha starts to explain it, but then says, oh, she's grown, and then Rand thinks, she's grown? What? Her hair? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, she's grown up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like he doesn't get that at all.
She's matured.
Yeah. Like we get it and we understand what that means now. That means that Egwene is now like back to being trusted
Yes.
as a person, not a child by the wise ones.
Yes.
But Rand is just very confused.
Yeah. Anyway, the Aiel are becoming slowly more comfortable with him being he who comes with the dawn. Rand is practicing daily with Lan with the sword and Ruark with the spear? Unarmed combat.
Unarmed fighting.
Oh, that's just fighting.
Hands and feet.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
Krav Maga.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. So Lan joins in that training too.
And he knows a little bit about it, but he's probably getting a little bit of a jam session too.
Cool.
Love
Okay.
it. Yeah.
So the morning after the Trolloc attack. So now we're going way back in time.
RJ's doing that whole like, I'm not going to tell you.
Flip-flop, who cares? No one cares about
And
this.
on the 5th day.
Yeah. And then on the 2nd, and then on the 8th.
Yeah.
Like, anyway, it doesn't matter. Kadir
Yes.
approaches Rand and says, this part made me laugh. I've been thinking about what you said yesterday. You know, what you said about knowledge being valuable. And in this moment, I thought to myself, Rand didn't say that. You did. And then Rand says, you said that, not me. And I went, oh, okay, I remember it right then. Yeah.
Okay.
So this guy's just like a piece of work. He thinks he's gonna like be manipulative.
Yeah.
But Rand won't be manipulated.
So it's a super weird take because this kind of seems like the offer.
It does seem that way.
I mean, this could be the offer, but then we've also got
I'm trying to see if there's like another cryptic offer refused in here somewhere.
We kind of get a little bit at the end of it too. I'll kind of point it out.
Yeah.
Because Keeley...
I know, but I don't trust anything you say.
Okay. Oh, I'm the untrustworthy one.
Yeah.
Okay, not this Kadir guy.
Yeah.
But
okay.
I just have to point out a couple of things because he looks around as if he is afraid of being overheard.
Yeah.
But then Rand notes that the nearest wagons are 50 paces or more away.
So he like knows he's not going to be overheard?
Well, we also know that certain Aes Sedai can like listen in like Moraine.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, you know, what does the distance really matter?
Well.
So...
Anyway, so this guy's like, oh yeah, that's totally true. I did say it, but it's right though, right? Right?
Yeah.
So he clearly wants to sell some information and he needs some assurances against repercussions.
Again, super cryptic language. What does it mean?
I don't know.
I got stuff I want to tell
guy.
you, but you got to protect me.
Yeah. I'll sell you my knowledge for your protection.
Yeah. And Rand's like, what's the information?
He's
but
like,
I don't want to buy it.
I don't want to buy it.
He's like, but trust me, it's really good information. But...
And Ron's like, I got too much information in my head already. I can't take more.
But then Kadir's like, hey, but I've done some really bad things and I need someone to forgive me of those.
Yeah, it's so weird because he returns the next day and other days and always when Rand's alone and always hints at knowledge and wants just like blanket protection from all his crimes.
Yes.
Seems weird and confusing.
Uh-huh.
Rand is buying none of this. And Rand is like, get out of here. I don't want to buy your knowledge.
Yeah. So Kadir is also the one that Rand initially said. Like, Kadir was the one. He was like, oh, his eyes. Yeah.
Evil.
His eyes.
We travel with evil now.
Exactly. So it's like, but again, weird. So.
Mm-hmm. So then we have Natil, the Glee Man, right?
Yes.
Visiting Rand. I guess when the Kadir stuff doesn't work, now it's Natil's turn to try to...
Really?
Yep.
Natil did the exact same thing to Matt, though.
Yep.
He's like, I need information for the epic.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this stuff?
Isn't that a good story? Pretending to be a Glee Man so that you can get stories?
I get that, but also he's not asking he's asking like, oh, how do you feel about events? And he did the same thing with Matt. It's not like,
yeah,
oh, what?
He just is searching for information.
Like feelings, though, for like a... Okay.
Because if he gets Rand to open up with questions like that,
sure,
then he's gonna hopefully get more information.
He doesn't get far with either of them, though.
No, he really doesn't, but he hopes to.
Okay.
So here's the thing. If I were a secret, sneaky, evil Glee Man...
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm with the Dragon Reborn, and
yes.
I want to know what he's been doing, and I want to know inside information.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm gonna play to his ego and be like, what have you accomplished? What have you done? But, like, we got to ease into that. So, like, how are you feeling?
Okay.
All that stuff. And then Rand starts talking and then starts, like, telling them stuff. Maybe because he's like, oh, I can trust this guy. And... But
here's the thing. Natil does that and then, like, tries a few more times with the same, like... path.
Yeah, it's not good.
Like, he doesn't do a good job if that is his motive, is to get information.
Okay, let's get into what he actually says, though, because he wants to know information to compose his grand epic, like he did with Matt. Yeah. And Rand's like, nah, I'm good. And then he's like, okay, well, how do you feel about your prophesized destiny? And it's almost like he's confirming that he has a prophesized destiny. It's like the secret underlying stuff that he wants to know.
Well, we know that, though. It's the prophecies of the dragon.
Yeah. And then Rand goes, how do I feel? I feel tired.
Yeah.
But like, then Natil's like, yeah, that makes sense. With everyone wanting to use you, rise you to power and glory.
Yeah. And see, none of that seems strange to me.
Okay, but let me tell you, that's the glory word.
So Lanfear is Natil.
Yep. No.
Masquerading as a guy. Okay.
Okay, so remember Kadir was like talking about greatness?
Yeah.
And that was my trigger. That was my red flag about...
Yes.
And I said, oh, if he had said glory...
then for sure.
And here's the word glory.
So Natil is...
I think...
Wait, do you think he's actually Lanfear or is like being directed by
I think
like a
that
behind
this
the
is,
scenes.
Yeah, I think this is all sketchy, and I think they all are like dark friends working for Lanfear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Employees of. That makes a little more sense to me too.
Yeah. Except for, what's her name? The fat one? She
Keely.
is Lanfear.
But like, why would Natal be arguing with her like that? What, like arguing with a Forsaken?
I don't know. You gotta stop trying to talk me out of it because I'm gonna dig my heels in.
Okay.
Egwene,
You're
Moiraine,
right. They're all Lanfear.
and the Wise Ones come to check in on Rand. We get more cryptic conversation about Rand's future. Again, nobody is really happy.
No one's happy at all of this chapter.
Moiraine seems satisfied that Rand will do what he must, but he thinks she will not be satisfied when she learns what I really have planned.
Oh no. So it's like Maureen's not happy, but she's like at least happy that he's not gonna like forsake his duty.
Yeah.
But also she just wants to know the plan, but Rand's not gonna give that up.
Interesting choice of words there.
Forsake his duty?
Forsake.
Yeah, got Forsaken on the mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Natal comes back a few more times to get details for his epic. A wink, sure. And Rand isn't giving him good details for him to write this like tragedy about him.
Okay, but also Rand thinks that Natal is very much like Tom.
Yeah.
Like the same stuff applies where he's got a fine opinion of himself, sees himself as an equal to everybody, but he's spending a lot of time with the Shido.
Yeah.
Because bigger audiences.
Big audience.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, and we know Gleeman get a basically free pass to do whatever they want to in the Waste, so.
That's true. I don't really care about any of that. Maybe I should, but I don't.
Okay.
Avienda is spending lots of times with the Wise Ones because turns out they're teaching her how to channel, and she freaking fireballs.
That's like the first thing we see her do.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny because then Moiraine and Egwene...
there's other stuff that Rand hasn't seen. Like he's off training.
Yeah.
Doing all sorts of stuff, and she's probably off,
I agree,
learning about air and whatever.
Air and whatever.
And then now it's like fireball in front of everybody.
Yeah. So it's kind of funny because as soon as it happens, Egwene and Moiraine basically go over and then
they get shunned away.
Booted out. They're like, get out of here, butt out of this training.
Not your business.
But it's kind of funny because we know how slow the White Tower takes it, and then we also got that part where Moiraine was like, "Oh, Avienda should come to the White Tower. We'll train her properly."
Yeah.
And the Wise One said, "Get the hell out of here."
Coddled there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we know how to do this.
Yeah. But here's the thing: when Avienda shoots her fireball across the waste, Rand tries to reach for Saidin, and it doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
So this is like the first instance that we get in a while where he's reached for it and
doesn't work.
Doesn't get it.
Yeah, so that's probably a bad thing.
Yeah. So Rand starts thinking about how he needs to learn to channel too. This is actually a little bit sad. So he has no teacher, and he needs to learn, so not just so that he doesn't die, but because he actually needs to use the power.
Yeah, like he's the Dragon Reborn. At some point, he needs to channel to defend himself.
Teacher he needs to learn.
Aw, sad.
It is sad.
What's the plan? What's the game plan?
Low game. That's been my plan from the beginning, hasn't it?
Maybe. I think
my plan from the beginning was Ishmael, maybe?
Okay, we've had Ishmael. What?
Remember Luce there? Remember my whole speculation
You're just saying names.
Yeah, but from the beginning.
Yeah, okay.
The whole thing about the Horn of Valir with the heroes coming back.
Right, you thought that
I was like the heroes.
Luce Theron was going to be one of the people who could come and teach him.
Or literally
not a thing.
Any
of those heroes.
Any of those heroes.
Hasn't happened yet.
Not yet.
But back to
I think we're leading up to finding someone who can teach
Okay,
it.
finding a teacher. That would be pretty cool. We did... Ishmael was the one who was like, come to the dark side, I'll teach you.
You need a teacher, yeah.
He's dead now. So then you also speculated about Logain, and I think you speculated about Taim at one point.
We're all going to come together.
You're like, everybody's going to be a teaching part. They're going to have like a...
Yeah,
teaching session.
Uh-huh.
Zoom call from across the...
Yeah, and Lanfear's like, if you come with me, I'll hook you up with someone who I don't hate completely, another Forsaken.
Yeah.
Who can teach you, and then we can
go rule the world together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even take out the Dark One.
Yeah.
Sounds
but whatever.
Actually like a good plan.
Whatever. Sounds good.
I'm for that plan more than any other plan.
Why not?
Yeah. Why not? You tell me. Sounds great.
So here we have it. This is how people get
converted
to the Dark One's side.
Yeah, but no, we're defeating the Dark One. Lanfear's on the side of Lanfear, not the Dark One.
But then you become the replacement for the Dark One.
Yeah, but Rand is a good leader.
Oh.
He could totally lead the world.
The Dark One's not leading the world.
No.
It's not like a leadership
could.
position here.
He could.
Okay.
He could.
Back to it.
Yeah, because there's nothing happening here. That's why we keep going up. So...
Oh, yeah. And then after, the crazy laughing. So he thinks about the, I don't have a teacher.
It's crazy laughing, but in this particular instance, I sort of get the laughing.
The totally normal laughing fits so hard that everybody's like, what's happening to this guy?
Yeah, I kind of get this, though. This particular situation is like, I need to learn how to channel. There's no one who can teach me. This is a really shitty situation. If I don't laugh, I cry. Like, it's one of those, oh, this is so ironic. I can't believe this is my life type of situation. Like, I get the laughing here. There's lots of other instances of him laughing like crazy.
Well, and Matt's kind of like staying away from him completely now.
Yeah.
Which is also sad.
Yeah. And I was wondering where that guy is. This whole chapter, it's like all of a sudden, okay, we get Rand's perspective of Matt. Matt won't admit to remembering anything from the terrestrial doorway, like in Ruidian.
But he also
But then he contradicts himself by saying, stay away from it because they cheat and everything. And then Matt is dicing with wagon drivers, and then they stop dicing with him because he keeps winning.
Yeah.
Kadir and Natil are also chatting with Matt a little bit.
He's hanging out with the peddlers a lot.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's great. He also seems to be pursuing Asandre a little bit.
Yeah, a lot of it.
A lot of it. So we get one incident of Matt pursuing her, but she's like leading him on.
Yeah, like really far.
Like she's getting ready for a kiss, and then he goes in for it, but then she stops him, but then she like giggles, and he's like totally here for the game, the chase.
Oh yeah, I mean, what else do you have to do in the waste?
Right? And this is clearly what he's been doing with every serving maid he's like ever met.
Yeah.
It's just like hanging out and kissing them. So like that's my other theory. It's for sure just kissing.
Oh man, okay.
Yeah, but then it stops because Keely shows up to insult everyone.
That's basically what happens.
She basically says that she will sell Asandre to Matt for a Tar Valon mark.
Yeah. That's a pretty big mood killer, I think.
Yeah.
When you offer to like sell the woman that he's trying to make out with. So
yeah, not great.
Not good.
And then Keely goes on a rant about just like scorning women, and Matt should be careful because he's gonna get himself stabbed.
Yeah.
And Rand probably knows something about scorned women, like that Aiel girl and Rand belonging to another girl. And it's like, okay, Keely.
Yeah, so this
what
is kind of
happening?
This is like the start of the second offer. Like the offer refused. One is the whole Kadir thing with Rand refusing Kadir's
selling
offer.
Information, yeah.
Yeah, and then the second one is where literally Keely's like, oh, nobody turns down me more than once or something like that.
Yeah, because I'm going to sell you this woman.
Yeah, it's just like a weird...
I don't know. I feel like when she turns to Rand and starts talking about the Aiel woman who's following after him and how he's promised to another woman.
Yeah.
Like, if this is Lanfear and this is jealousy coming through, like let's pretend that my theory isn't crazy and super fucked up and makes sense. Let's pretend it makes sense.
Okay. So this is...
She's jealous because Rand is like her man.
And Keely being Lanfear is jealous of Rand having another woman who...
And also another woman.
Yeah, but the other woman isn't Avienda because Avienda is like, oh, you belong to another woman. But then Rand
Avienda's like following him around still.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Although we do get that Lanfear is not jealous. And it's just like, all of you are way worse than me.
Your placeholders. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but maybe she's just like making a point about it.
Okay. Anything about the whole fact that she offered a Tar Valon mark?
Yeah.
I expected you to go like on a big
maybe
crazy theory on that one. No? Okay.
It's like something, I guess.
Okay. It's just like of all the coins.
Yeah, of all the coins.
Yeah. But then we also get Asandra threatening Keely back to leave her in the waste and be like, oh, I'm going to kick you out of the peddler train.
Right.
So it's like, if it is Lanfear...
I don't know. I don't know anything that's happening. This is like the worst.
Something weird is going on.
That's
what did Jan say?
That's all I know, and I'm annoyed because I don't actually have any legit theories because this is all just like stupid and I can't predict it and I hate that.
Yeah. It is. Okay. It's
so
confusing.
let's finish up this recap of the past,
Sure.
11 days, because on the 12th day, they reach their destination. They've passed few landmarks, like some other sort of stands, like Imri Stand and some herds of animals, and that's about it.
Yep.
Turns out Rand hasn't really been paying much attention to this roof mistress business, and Avienda has to explain it again.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Rand should pay attention.
Yeah, Avienda's frustrated because it doesn't seem like Rand is trying to learn about her culture, and then they arrive at Cold Rock's Hold.
Okay, so we're here now.
Here we are.
And hopefully something happens at or around Cold Rock's Hold.
Yeah, like another Trolloc attack, like something else weird is going to happen.
Well, we know that the Golden Bull and Cold Rock's Hold are like close because that was the whole point of going there. See, I don't
know that. You're telling me they're close?
Yeah, they told us that's why they're going there is because it's like, oh, that's on the way and that's where we're going to stop. Okay. So, yeah, it's like right there, pretty much. More or less, generally speaking, cover my bases.
So it's about to be the meeting of the chiefs, clan chiefs.
Yeah,
chiefs.
like a bunch of Aiel.
Yeah, they're all going to show up.
Yep.
And Rand is going to...
Look at my arms, because he's got the tattoos.
Look at him.
Look at him. I'm the guy.
I got work done.
Yeah.
I got inked. And they're not on my butt.
Prediction wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to make this prediction before we end.
Sure.
In our Q&A for this month, I just made a prediction about how I think this book is going to end.
Yes.
And I do want to put it on the record for our regular episode here, just so that it's out there. I think this Aiel waste stuff will not wrap up the end of this book.
Yeah, that's not the pivotal ending.
I think that the stuff in Tanchico might have a little bit of a wrap up.
Sure.
And I think that the Emmons Field, Two Rivers, White Cloaks, Aes Sedai... That whole mess, the Tinkers and Aiel being in the same place, everything with Perrin in Emmons Field will have a resolution, but I think everything else that's happening might not. Okay. I made that prediction before I read about Swan.
You did, yeah.
And the White Tower stuff. So I definitely think that's a brand new plot point that 100% will not get wrapped up.
Yeah, and I mean, like, we only have about 10 chapters now.
I appreciate. I like that that's happening, that we're not just going to get your cookie cutter. Everyone ends up in the same place to beat the bad guy at the end, and then we get a Maureen wrap-up chapter at the end.
To come and summarize for us what happened.
Yeah, I'm excited for something a little bit different.
Awesome. Okay.
And I'm excited to go read on.
Yeah.
Because, with that being said, this is part of the pattern now.
Yeah, it's part of the pattern.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode. The Wheel Weaves is hosted by Dani and Brett, edited by Dani, produced by Dani and Brett, with Passion Socks, Mozime, Moltude, Benjamin, Vince Lewick, Michelle O'Brien, Sarah Wyatt, Jamie Young, Cody Fouts, and Giannis. With music by Audionautics.com. If you're interested in some of our Wheel Weaves merchandise, such as shot glasses, frosty mugs, t-shirts, hats, and more, you can head over to newcreationsbyjen.com, and we are located in the groups or collections section. If you're interested in supporting us and helping us to make really great content, you can head over to our Patreon at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast, and you'll also get access to some really great bonus content, like early access to our regular episodes, bonus episodes, unedited video episodes, access to our live recordings, monthly Q&As, and more, like stickers and keychains. Don't forget to find us on social media. We're on Instagram and Twitter at The Wheel Weaves Podcast. We'd also love for you to join the conversation over at our Discord, and you can find the link to that in our bios on those social medias. We'd love for you to tell a friend about us. Referrals really are the best compliment. We'd love for you to leave a review and subscribe. That really does make a huge difference. Thanks so much again for listening. This really is part of the pattern now.